lady?
Julie?
No.
Your daughter?
No. Our former gardener, when we lived out in Kenwood's wife, sent that she sent an Easter, and she had him drive into town this Easter thing.
That's to you.
No, that's to you, to President Nixon.
Why not?
But she had a big chocolate Easter egg with an HRH that he had written on it, and she had baked a cake for us. And she sent me a card saying, keep lighting or something. And she sent that for you, and she sent a cigar with a matchbook stuck on a rubber band. It just, there are a lot of just plain Americans around too.
Sure, there are a lot of people. What we have to do is keep our faith, right?
Yep.
Sure, I am.
Yes, yes. We've got
Further things to know.
really not much of anything. We've got a meeting with the lawyers, and I've got to put some more stuff together for that. Dates and times and all. We're trying to get everything, anticipating chinks in the armor anywhere. But I didn't talk to them last night, so there's nothing beyond, nothing from them. And the only thing, a couple thoughts on the, forgetting about the case for a minute, but on the general situation that we've got a problem in that it's hard to act at all until the grand jury does something, or until justice does something. You don't have any grounds for action, and any action you take prejudices both ways, the prosecution and the defense.
Right.
And
our hands are tied into the other side of the technology.
that's kind of it. And they keep us, they've sort of got us out there. And maybe you just figure that's the way it is, and you ride through that.
I don't think there's anything to do.
It probably isn't.
I solve the problem, but
There's a need from a public viewpoint to sort of pull the White House together, I think. Make things look like they're under control, which they are. I mean,
that was good at Henry's first yesterday, but I didn't know so far, did it?
Very.
You know.
And there all this stuff with that you're restructuring the White House staff and all that.
Blair, for Christ's sake.
That's a strange one.
Well, there was a dealer made a long time ago where they'd like to come back, or something, or what it was about. Probably congressional thing.
Yeah, I talked to them.
They talked to you, that's Larry.
Well, let's set himself up for office, and that, even if there were.
Well, I must say, Hank did himself well yesterday.
He called me yesterday morning and said, I've got to go out, I've got to go public today. And I said, well, that's your first mistake. And he laughed and he says, I agree, but this is a commitment I made a long time ago. It would look worse to cancel it now. So, said, if you have any guidance on anything you want me to say, let me know. But he said, just so you know, here's my position. And he laid out that what I'm going to say is that President, I have full confidence in the President. Sure, that's probably all that. And he said, I don't think I should say anything more than that. And I said, I think you're absolutely right. He said, these bastards are trying to divide us. They're trying to push this in. And the same people who have always been against us, like the Brooks and the Schweikers and stuff, we're still having a problem with. And of course, the press says, I think we've just got to, until the President moves, and when he moves, we've got to support that position all the way and nothing else, and not go beyond it.
That's right, Bob.
And that's great. I said, the media clamor. I don't know. I was trying to think whether there's something that from this side can be done. what you're hanging up on, what we're hanging up on now, is if there should be a move on me, it should follow, or well, it should be tied with, it should follow a move on me. You can't, excuse me, you can't make a move on me until you have some reason for it.
That's right. Basically, you see, has not confessed, well, in the sense he's confessed to me, but he hasn't to the Attorney General in an official way. You understand?
That's right.
They have their arm's length, what they call discussions. So
they don't have a basis and you don't have a basis, which makes you look bad here.
That's right.
In a sense, because there's the public mind has Dean pretty well fixed. They have Mitchell pretty well fixed, and they have Magruder pretty well fixed.
Right.
They're careful about fixing me. They say the closest to fixing me they get is I must have known.
That's right.
Because the way we ran things here couldn't happen without my knowing.
Right.
Now that imputes to the White House the control of the campaign, and somewhere it seems to me that's got to be undone. If you control all of your campaigns before, but as president, you weren't able to control your campaign.
Deliberately did not.
And I wasn't able to.
Deliberately did not think about it.
And didn't really try to, except to keep on top of what was early and lots of ideas now. Well, we've got to be a little careful about that, because there was in the post-Watergate era,
Campaign.
there was a political meeting twice a week in Ehrlichman's office. With McGregor and Harlow.
I was referring to
and Mitchell, I think.
I was referring to the pre-Watergate thing.
Yeah, and they're really none of us had. It's amazing when you go back and look through the papers how little any of us, you or me or Ehrlichman, was involved in any of that stuff.
Talking a little about we all know some of what's going to happen on that case in California. You know,
Ellsberg,
right? I had Bill John in it.
yes, he told me.
So must worry the hell out of me, but Bob, he had to worry about that. John knew that was going to come out. I mean,
He's not uptight about it at all.
Let me tell you why. The reason that is, you know, that photo was in that file and they were bound to find it.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but
Did you hear about it?
no, not until I heard the tape yesterday. I still don't know what that means. Means that they took a picture when they broke in, and that picture was in Hunt's file, and the stuff they turned over to the FBI.
That's why he said earlier it's Hunt's photo was on him. It's black and white.
Does Ehrlichman know that photo's in the file?
Yes. Well, Ehrlichman says he knows about the break-in.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing. I mean, the point is that the break-in, therefore, Bob is the photo. It's all admitted. There's no question about that being proved. The dean of control of all five.
We've got one interesting development that gets into this whole timing. Timing becomes one hell of a problem here. And it seems to me, for your sake, speed is of the essence, that every hour sooner anything can happen, the better. That Dash told Garment yesterday that they want Ehrlichman and me next week at the Senate committee internal, the preliminary meeting type thing, because they're doing their interviews to build their case for the hearings.
Well, you and Ehrlichman got to get for the grand jury before that.
Well,
you go.
See, that's what John's view was, that we can't go out there till we've gone to the grand jury.
Absolutely. That should be your view throughout. Everybody here. We will not go before that until we have understood. You could say we're to be before the grand jury. As soon as we finish the grand jury, you pass. That's what you want. Your lawyers should get me the letter. Dean Peterson will get me a letter.
must say now, it really looks as if you have more privacy in the Senate committee than you do at the grand jury. The grand jury thinks incredible. The prosecutors apparently called Jack Anderson in.
Yeah, I know.
And convinced him that he was disserving the case by printing the stuff. So he's not going to print it verbatim anymore. He's going to paraphrase it, which it makes it even worse. Even his verbatim
said the prosecutors told him that Jack Anderson said he was getting a good Republican. You mean a good Republican? You mean a Republican on the staff of the committee? I mean, the prosecutors said, "Who are you talking about?" I said, "That's ridiculous. It's somebody, it's one of the, not even Glassner or Glacier or whatever it is, but that's unfair too."
That's probably one of the reporters.
Well, it could be. I doubt it.
How can they keep on doing that, though? That's what bothers me, is if I go before the grand jury and they put something, give Jack Anderson my minutes, and he selects what he's going to paraphrase to put out, you're going to have,
Right.
of course, who cares?
Oh, your stuff is not really.
Yeah, it really is.
Right. Oh, a couple of quick things. He said that this is all this stuff, that he's talking about Segretti, and they're trying to get into the fact that Segretti apparently had something to do with the Jackson memorandum on Muskie or something like that. Apparently, if that's the thing that is hanging on Segretti, says Segretti is scared, and it's that way, it doesn't go to them, maybe so. But also, we're trying to check through whether he did a canoe letter. Christ, I don't know about who did a canoe letter. You know nothing about either of those. Of course, your line on Segretti is going to be totally overseeing his authority now.
Well, yeah, in the first place, that he didn't have
Any authority from you,
any authority from me, and nor did I have any knowledge of what he did. I had a knowledge of the premise on which he was spelled out.
That's right.
And that was clearly, was specifically spelled out, not to be anything illegal.
Somebody evidently in that connection is preparing to campaign for somebody that a counterattack we are going to make on their campaign tactics. Is that correct, or is that false?
I don't know now. They were, but I haven't stayed in touch with that.
I think it is necessary. If you get before the committee, that you be prepared to do that. See, the minute you get before that committee, you've got to do that.
Yeah.
Now, Ehrlichman realizes that they may call Dean out there, and Dean will have to reveal what the operation was. And that's going to be a hell of a story, of course. Watergate buggers broke into Ellsberg's office. Boy, that would be what? How do you evaluate that? Other than bad, who knows? There's so much now that disappears more and more that I guess, about everything we do is wrong. Here I see where they fired some poor guy that hired a college kid for the purpose of participating in counter demonstrations, and I can't understand that. It's just bush going wild.
That's that George Gordon. He was in your office that they reached brought the young guys in. He was the more valuable guy instead of the college.
Right, I know that. What in the name of God is wrong with that?
Not a damn thing. And it just...
We've got do they think for one moment that the demonstrators that get us all over the place were all unpaid?
Well, of course not.
They were not paid.
And he wasn't putting demonstrators in to hit them. He was putting people into the demonstrators that were hitting us to find out what they were doing.
We can do something about this. I don't think people like what they did. That's why I said that if you could, I guess say on the counterattack thing, let's just put it in time to do much on that. But let's get ready on that, shall we? Another thing is that Ehrlichman and you just put together. Ehrlichman's apparently a pretty formidable thing. It's something that Fiddler could perhaps get out of a policy sense. The presidential initiatives calling within the staff for action on this thing. You know what I mean? And Ehrlichman mentioned several times, I've forgotten. He says, but I said, look, for Christ's sake, I think the record that I was not getting my ass until March 21st, like taken a vote, or is that where it would come?
I think something is. No, I think it is. I'm not sure whether you log that out separately or whether you try to tie that into something that is the next step.
Right. Well, it should all be part of the step. I agree. Don't just throw it out there and let it be killed. But I think the entire record has got to be put out by somebody. Maybe. But the way I look at it is that you, for the urban committee, have got to be the guy defending the White House on the campaign and also defending the campaign. Well, I don't mean everything in the campaign, but what I mean is that you've been thinking of that anyway, Yeah. And I don't think anybody else can do it, or can't do it, and so forth and so on. But I got you can, and that's going to be a very important function for you. I think in addition to that, there's got to be somebody, who's got to get out the Nixon record of the Watergate thing, which is not one of just sitting on my ass, asking everybody, asking the White House people, will you involve? And never made a statement. Never made a statement. Without having to think or lie. I'm just not going to let anybody keep making that statement. He did not. He never lied. Digger always reported what he had been told. He didn't go out there and deliberately lie and say that somebody had been cleared. Do you think he did?
No. See, that's what they're hitting on is not, well, Molinoff's hitting him that he lied. He stands up and just screams at it. But I don't think the others buy that. But what they do buy is that his credibility is no good because what he told them has now proved not to be correct. Not because he intentionally lied, but because he was not told the correct information to tell him.
That's all right. That's what he's got to say. He's got to say it's ignorant.
Okay, so that now they challenge him. He says now, like they did yesterday, he said the White House staff, there have been no changes in the White House staff. And then they say, well, how can we believe that anymore? I mean, maybe that's what they've told you, but maybe there have been.
That's right.
And how do we know that?
That you just got to say of my own knowledge, or gentlemen of my own knowledge, or something. You know what I mean? And he's got to separate it out. Ziegler is White House press secretaries are often attacked for lying, representing and so forth, and I would get all head up about that.
No, and I think that's, but I think it's another area that there needs to be more action on business as usual in here, I think that's what I'm trying to say. There needs to be within the inside. Now, to their credit, some of the young guys in here got together yesterday and said, I'll tell you, you got some shits in this place, but you got about 90% just really sterling people. And they, on their own initiative, got together and said we're getting hacked from the outside here on this crap about everybody for himself in the White House and
Well, one thing I'm structurally small than that was to the secretary.
Well, that was one idea that came out of that meeting.
Another thing I'm going to do, I'm having a long meeting with Schultz today, and I'm having a meeting with the truck.
You do need to do that.
Oh, and I'm having a meeting Saturday morning.
Good.
Good.
Well, these guys made the point that they recognize. They said it's obvious that some of the people here have got to concentrate on this other thing. In the meantime, it's up to us to rally the cause here and keep things going right and looking right while we're doing that. One thing they came up with as an idea that I'm not so sure is bad is that we haul in the staff and the sub-cabinet for another one of these periodic briefings that we've done, from time to time. Absolutely without your participation. No, they say the imperative fact in this is the president must not participate. But where Ehrlichman gives him a rundown on the energy stats, and Schultz gives him a rundown on the economics, and Henry gives him a rundown on the stock level. There gives him a rundown. And I make the point that, this is very delicate, but it's got to be worked out, and I think maybe it can be. We can't overlook the fact that the Watergate factor is here. We know it's not overlooking, and we're not overlooking it. far more important missions in the long run than that.
And as the president is, we're doing everything we can to get to the bottom of this thing. Believe me, every individual here is expendable in the event that the Watergate thing touches him, even innocently, or something like that.
But just kind of make this point and get
Very good.
everybody sort of back into.
Well, you do that.
I think so.
Well, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
And I think it's probably a good thing to do.
Well, I don't think I'd try to do it. Maybe Friday I go to the status thing.
First of the week, maybe.
Tomorrow. Well, do it Monday. Why don't you do it Monday? Put it down on the phone. Let's kick hard. It's good. Let me come back now to our tapes a bit. Let me ask you two or three questions. Have you got that chance to listen to the rest?
I'll do it after the lawyer meeting today. We're meeting with them at 10:30. And I don't know how long it'll take. As soon as we're through with that,
You know, what you have for the rest is the rest of that day.
yeah, and then I can check forward and backward a little bit and see whether we got anything. I don't mean to be slow on it, but you've got to understand that it's not like looking at a piece of paper where you can skim through it. You have to listen to the whole thing. You can't skim.
What did happen after that day of the 21st? Did I see Dean again that day?
Yes, sir. Well, not alone, I don't believe.
That's funny. I didn't see him alone.
You saw him with Mitchell and us, and then you saw him with John and me. You saw him twice more that day, but groups. No, wait. I'm wrong. Let me get that book. Bringing in the green presidential logbook. You know what I mean?
When did he go to camp?
Friday. Friday, I think.
When was the 21st?
Wednesday. Let me get the logbook. Let's be sure, because
Isn't it your view that that basically is what Dean's talking about regarding his bomb? Big play.
maybe, but I don't see how. I think it's something else. And I was trying to go back through the Dean stuff to see what it could be. Thank you.
The reason I ask is mentioned the point that don't let the president get in a position of obstructing justice. Well, I don't know what he means.
He may mean the business of you saying don't give immunity.
I've changed it. We cover that page.
Okay, that was your last meeting with me. You never met with me again.
Thank God.
You met with me, and I came in that morning.
I called him on the phone. Told him I discussed it then.
Well, I can check that. I'll get the phone log.
Yeah, I know the phone logs, but that won't prove it is. We don't have any tapes.
Yes, we do. Well, it depends on what phone you use. We do if you phone from here. And from the EOB office and from the Lincoln room. Because we have those phones covered. Because that was in that evening, 5:30, you met with Earl and Dean and me for 40 minutes over at the EOB.
What do you remember that was about?
That was about the Irving business. And then the next morning, Thursday morning, late morning,
time I had with Rachel.
Just to put your frame of reference in there, that was the morning, that was the day we had the sub-cabinet meeting, the White House staffing over the thing. You came over
Yeah.
and gave them a little shot there. Then you came over here, you met with Scowcroft for 20 minutes, and then you had Santa Maria in, and then you had Bush, Brock, Michael, and Timmons in.
Yeah.
Campaign committees. Then you met with the Commission on Marijuana
Yeah.
stuff, and with some Mrs. Bedford and her nephew, whoever that was,
Your old woman.
and Congressman Butler,
Right.
and Congressman Edwards, and some constituents,
Right.
and Herb Klein and his family,
Right.
and then Ziegler for a few minutes, and then Scowcroft for a few minutes, and then you met for an hour and a half with Ehrlichman, Dean, Haldeman, and Mitchell. Now, of that, if you actually met 100 minutes of that, Ehrlichman and I were there, and 110 minutes, Dean and Mitchell were there. So you had 10 minutes with Dean and Mitchell, either before or after John and I.
Well, I had Mitchell alone. I don't know whether Dean.
This shows Dean was there. It can't be wrong. This, there can be mistakes in this law.
I recall that I had Mitchell stay back a minute. Remember Dean?
So you may have waited in the outer office. You may have kept Mitchell in your inner office. Dean may have waited in the outer office for Mitchell to come out.
And that's more likely.
It's quite likely because then the girl wouldn't know. See, she doesn't know until they come out of the outer door. Then that afternoon was when you had your meeting with Ehrlichman and Schultz. When Schultz, your helicopter landed, and Schultz went on talking. I wrote that memo about what one of Schultz's better moments. And then you left for Key Biscayne at 6 o'clock or 6:30.
So I must have called Dean from Key Biscayne.
If you did, we wouldn't have a tape.
What date is that?
That's the 22nd.
At that time, Dean was
Dean went to camp. I'm not sure whether Dean went to Camp David on the 23rd or the 24th, but somewhere in there, he went to Camp David. I'm told it was the 23rd. Then when we came back,
and you stayed till when?
28th,
Of March.
but then you never met with him again. See, on the 30th, we went to California.
We got back here from Camp David 28th. Oh, I made a mistake on the 28th.
No, you came back to Key Biscayne on Monday night, 26th.
Right. And I worked on my speech.
Tuesday, you met with Kissinger for an hour, then with me for an hour, and then with Ushiba.
Right. You know what? By his office, right?
And then you had a long meeting with Ehrlichman and me.
Right.
And then you had Congresswoman Boggs came in. And then you spent an hour with Bill Rogers after Boggs. And then another hour with me. And then it was clear for a while, and then another hour with me later. Then you wanted to go to the Virginia bowling alley that evening. With Julie.
Yeah.
Then the next morning, Wednesday, was when you were working on your speech. And you saw me for a few minutes in the morning for about an hour at noon and for 20 minutes at the end of the day.
Great.
Thursday, you met with Schultz for a few minutes in the morning, and Kissinger for a few minutes, me for a few minutes midday. Then you did have Ehrlichman and me in on Thursday for 2 hours.
Yeah.
2:30 to 4:30, and Ziegler in for a little bit during that. And that was, I've got the notes on
Something
it.
must have developed that day.
Yeah, it was getting Ziegler to put something out.
The Ziegler was dated. That's right.
Yeah, the 29th, that's when you put out the statement. And then you met with Ehrlichman for an hour.
And I made a speech.
Late that afternoon, you made the speech that night. And then the next day, you were just up to your ass in alligators.
I don't know
The state legislators, Sonnenfeld, Schultz, Jillian things. And then we left for California that evening at 6 o'clock, 5:30.
6 o'clock to 30th.
You met with Ehrlichman and me for an hour here before we left.
At the time, I spent a week in California.
That's right. That was the next night was the John Ford dinner. And you spent a lot of time with us that morning.
Yeah. We were still talking. don't think it was that so much as the game was on so much heat. I just figured
You just weren't getting anywhere. It was a typical move where you weren't getting results one way and you started action another way. There wasn't so much lost confidence.
Right.
John builds on that more. It wasn't really lost confidence. It was just lost.
Just had to get more
results.
Satisfied with the results.
And he was saying, "No, I can't get this thing down."
That's when you talk about making the public statements with Miller, California, and all the rest.
That's right.
It's a long time ago. All right. I've got that picture pretty well in mind. Now let's look at this business. First, with regard to these tapes, I don't know how you can reconstruct it, but I think that for your information, the directive I've given you is that it's been customary without, I don't think it should ever get out that we take this off the spot. If we've got people that are trustworthy on that, I guess we have.
I think so.
It does. The answer is yes. We only take the national security information. All other information is scrapped, never transcribed. You get the point? That's what I want you to remember on these, if you will, if I might. That's just a memorandum for your file, basically, that you made, I think that's very important. Very important. You never want to be in a position to say the president taped it. He taped somebody.
Well, the whole purpose of this was for national security.
I know.
That's the reason there were other steps were taken, or taking other places.
I know, but I just don't want this to be, I just don't want that tape, for example, I don't want you to disclose that to your husband or anybody else. I mean, that's just something. I don't want you to tell her, just say you went over it. It's about the same as.
I've already, what I said to him is that the tape, he knows I went over, of course. I said it basically says what the president recalled.
Now, with regard to the thing,
which it does. It's your recollection of that was almost verbatim, not verbatim.
The question is whether or not did I at that time order Dean to pay off money, go to work Dean,
no
money to pay him off.
No.
Not at the point that you read. Now, you're sure I didn't? Didn't I say, well, that ought to be done? Put the cork in the bottle or some damn silly thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, but that was rescinded, and it was a shouldn't we do this? We at least have to do that. You were drawing him out. You did not order him to.
With regard to clemency, if the subject ever comes up, you can say it. Obviously, we can say that the matter was discussed, and I put it with people, and the way it came up is that I talk about doing it before Christmas, doing it at Christmas. And I said, well, you couldn't even consider it until after 1974. We were without the elections. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't even consider it. I mean, that's the point. Because that puts it more in the context of the crime, assuming.
Yeah. I don't.
What troubles me is whether Dean has made a memorandum of this. Well, the fact that he made a memorandum is irrelevant.
Well, let's look at this point, though. That area is totally privileged until you come to an impeachment proceeding. There's no way that can be brought out because there's no way that there's no forum for going into presidential guilt except an impeachment.
I know.
And they've got to impeach you first before the proceeding starts, and they aren't going to impeach you.
No, I slept a little on that. It's good for John to look at it that way. My God, about what the hell have you done to be impeached?
But John doesn't believe you have either, and John doesn't believe you can be impeached or will be. What he believes is that that's the game Dean is trying to play.
That's what he's talking
He does not believe it's a game with any potential.
I may have called him, I can't remember, at some time about what the hell they're going to do about what's been done. money that he's asked for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a possibility, huh? Now, how would we talk about that, Paul? Yes, I should be. I was trying to find out
What he was up to.
what this thing, how deep this thing ran. I had to find out. All right, now, big question. When I learned this in the 21st, why didn't I go right over to the Attorney General and say, look, I found out that Hunt is asking for money. It's a question of how long it took me to reach the conclusion, which we reached on the 15th, basically, 14th, early when I went over to give his report.
You didn't know what the facts were. You didn't know what was done yet. You didn't know where they stood on it. They were still talking to Hunt and all that. And there wasn't a timely problem there anyway. I mean, it wasn't a matter of something that whatever Hunt knows or doesn't know, he's going to pull on knowing or not.
No. The question is whether or not that Hunt, what he knew or not, didn't know. The fact that an overture had been made by Hunt's attorney for payments.
But you didn't know what the nature of this payment business was. You didn't know what they were talking about in terms of payments.
Well,
You were trying to smoke it out. That's right. But then you were trying to smoke out where that involved other payments. And, was this the first time? And then Dean, in this conversation, lobbed in it'll take $1 million over the next year.
I remember that I brought that in.
Okay.
How much would it cost?
Right. And was that $1 million to Hunt or to all the defendants? Then it comes to your attention that somebody has been working something out with the other defendants. You lobbed that in. Well, you said, what about the Cuban committee?
Yeah. I said, how would we do this?
You didn't know the committee.
I had read about the Cuban committee in the paper. That's true.
That's right. Well, you didn't know then, and I submit that you don't know now.
Who did? Well, I didn't know that.
Where the line was between a legitimate effort to provide legal fees and an illegitimate effort to buy off defendants.
Then the question comes, Mr. President, did you know that an effort was even being made if I pay legal fees? And the answer is, I didn't. I did not know that. I didn't know
Not until this point.
I didn't know about the 350.
That's right.
I didn't know about the launching of Kalmbach.
That's right.
You remember?
That's right.
I did not know. I had read stories to that effect, but I didn't frankly look into it. Basically, I frankly had this, I thought, well, it must be a bunch of Cubans or something like that. I thought of nothing bad about it. Well, I never reported to them, but I didn't know about Lacoste. My point is, and I'm not trying to be social, but my point is that the story is very true that I didn't know a thing. Now, there's only one weakness in that, the Pappas thing. The Pappas thing where he said, yes, I know about Pappas, but...
Oh, but that was right in that same time frame.
I know, but he said, I understand. Did I say that Pappas was helping, or he said Pappas was helping?
He said Mitchell has talked to Pappas. You just quickly logged in.
Yes,
I know.
yes, I know. Well, the point was, what I was referring to only was not that Mitchell was talking to Pappas, but that Pappas never mentioned that when he was in his office. Never mentioned it. That I know. All he said is that I'm helping John's special projects. And I said, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. He didn't tell me that it was fun.
Okay.
So that was that conversation.
Okay. Now that, see,
You see what I mean? It depends on how you read all this stuff.
yeah, but it's, again, you're a long ways from having to make this case. You need to know what John has, but that Pappas thing was so, just your I know is almost lost in the fact. He was going like you injected an I know. Now, he had to be damn alert to remember that and put it down. And you've got to assume that maybe he was, but the odds are very much against it.
Well, that's what they were.
Unless he's got a tape or something. No, but I just don't. I do not accept that as even a remote
So
possibility.
we can't believe that anybody, that even John Dean would come into this office with a tape recorder.
And I think if he did, that's one more discrediting thing on him. I mean, you just make the point that that's inconceivable.
The tape recorder puts that out to the press.
But then that indicates he was coming in to try to track the president. I mean, what was his motive? What were your motives? motives? What was the Justice Department's motives and prosecutors' motives at that point? They didn't know there was. You got to look at the things in the context of the times. There was no at that point. There wasn't any real feeling that there was a cover-up. That's come up. That just started to evolve out of Dean's thing, Dean's report.
Well, I think there've been hush money talking on.
There was a story. There was a hush money story in January.
A court said hush money. Didn't he?
I'm not sure when. Somewhere in there again.
Before March. Hush money.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, it doesn't make a difference. That's what it is. But he was frankly saying, he said, look, Hunt needs money here. Pittman said that Hunt's got to get money here. He'll throw the seeming help on the seeming side. Isn't that the story?
I'll bring Rothman to his knees.
I'll bring Rothman to his knees. Basically,
Because I'll put out the seeming things that I did for him.
Basically, the name might be that he said he told the president that he was going to do this. The president, as a result, said no interview routine. And that is the president being engaged in. He told me when I called him on Sunday, I recollected this. He said, I know how that statement regarding no immunity got into your statement. He locked that out just as we guessed, of course. Either he was early, got me later. You remember the April 17th statement? But I'm just trying to look at things as he made, whatever he's going to pop off.
He told Larry that whoever, that his statement, that I'm not going to be a scapegoat, when he put that, he said that reached the right place.
That it reached the right place.
Yeah, he said the people I was talking to got the signal. Something to that effect. He said, I'm not out to get anybody. I was just making sure the signal and it got through. He said I was sending a signal and it got through. The people I was sending it to understood.
I meant that it got to me. Because we said he's not going to be a scapegoat. Came in for time. I would look at all the facts. Treat you all the same. That's been good, though. I think that's been proper. That's just because of his threats, and he may never make any threats to me. We didn't know about it. He said Hunt was going to blow the whistle, not that he was.
You got a tough problem, though, I think. The one thing that he put out on your conversation is unfortunate, saying you're still my counsel.
I didn't say that.
Well, he says you did.
I didn't say that.
And that's his, and that was the headline. Nixon calls Dean, says you're still my counsel. That gets to this thing that I keep saying that I read.
But he has to go. But let me say,
well, and that you shouldn't express confidence in him.
yeah, all right, I agree with that. But if you're still my assistant, you're still that and this and that. But my point that I make is that every move I make with Dean, I check with Peterson. I said, no. Anybody is to leave here? Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah.
And I said, are you dealing with Dean? Yes, we're still talking to him in terms of
Yeah.
No, sir, I can defend that talk. It's not confidence. It's simply a
Well,
question.
it gives you appearance, the public appearance of confidence. So because he put it out, you doing it privately to Dean is fine. His putting it out publicly is not. Because it puts you in the problem then of when you do have to move on Dean, which is inevitable, I would assume. I mean, they have to either indict him or give him immunity. You've got to move on either way. do.
One thing you and Bob have got, John's got to work on is the game plan on how you handle John Dean. I mean, the deceit. Let's face it, you and Bob, you are the reason I put the community thing in there, Bob. John. I mean, John insisted you go in there. You recall?
Yes, I sure did.
I think Colson did too, if I recall. John was the one. But to be sure, you say that nobody gets immunity and tell Peterson nobody's to get immunity. That I did. Whether that was a good move or not, I do not know. It may have been a good move as far as the individuals are concerned.
I don't know. I think,
On the other hand, give him immunity. He's going to always have something hanging up your head anyway, isn't he? He's got that kind of guy.
well,
The only thing is,
also,
he's going to be the question really, Bob, when your attorney session was, how is he going to be most vindictive? He knows a lot of ambitious things. He's going to be most vindictive as a witness with immunity, or most vindictive. And they say, well, yes, he's got to prove a lot because of immunity. And, well, he's got enough to prove. No problem there. But as far as the president is concerned, he's got to be most vindictive. Because I think we've really got to look at that. Come back to that once we have.
well, problem you got.
Let's leave out Burlington home. But here's Dean. How is he going to take on the president? President's kindness.
Okay, but how do you
Live with it.
how do you live with that? And how do you live with the knowledge that other people have?
Oh, well, the immunity doesn't mean that he is accused, doesn't know that he has a crime. It only means that you don't hit him for it. Because he talked.
Yeah, but the only reason for granting immunity to any witness is to nail a more important defendant. Or immunity to any defendant is to make him a witness for the purpose of nailing a more important defendant in terms of someone who, well, it goes back, and they're citing you because in your crime message you push for new immunity laws, apparently, so that we quit nailing the little guys in the mafia rings and start nailing the big guys.
Right.
Okay, and that's the theory of immunity, obviously.
Right.
And they're making a big thing out of that. So if you give immunity to Dean,
Well, they don't think I retract him from that.
no,
Not in this case.
no, but the point is if you give immunity to Dean,
He's a major guy.
then what you're doing is saying he is a little guy,
Oh, yes, I know.
and therefore there are major guys. Now, they don't need Dean's immunity to make Mitchell. There are no other more major people than Dean, except Erlich, Haldeman, and you
That's right.
in the White House, and Mitchell at the committee.
Right.
They've already got Mitchell. So the only thing you can give them immunity for, and the only reason they can justify immunity, is if they nail someone above it. Otherwise, the immunity was a cover-up.
Wait a minute. Cover for the president, maybe, not for Burlington home. Just arguing.
Or someone within there. It's a cover-up. No, it's a cover-up to keep. No, that's right. Because if he talks, it's going to nail somebody. Okay, then it's not a cover-up. It's an inducement to lie.
The news would get somebody.
Yeah, or to get Dean off of this count because he could get you on something else, which is the fact.
For something he might not be able to get it, but he could embarrass me.
Yeah, could make an attempt. I don't think he can't get you. I don't think he'll even make the attempt.
But why all these veil and threats that he's making, John?
To play his game now. Same as Magruder made all kinds of veil threats about lying, but when he gets down to the crunch, he isn't doing it. He's telling the truth. Magruder was over here saying he was going to involve me.
Did he tell you that?
Sure. He didn't tell me. He told other people. He told Dean.
He's going to involve you.
was to get me lined up. He told Larry that at night at some point to get the word to me. That was going to involve me stuff he knew wasn't true.
I heard it. I'm supposed to lie like hell.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he is now.
I
don't know what he's doing.
You'd be damn sure now that Strong doesn't tell the truth.
I've told him to. Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Consistently said that he's got to tell the truth. And
I think he is.
I assume that he is.
It's a hazy area as to whether or not such materials, as to whether a budget came over, to whether he did this or that or the other thing.
He's sure a budget didn't. As I understand it, he's sure that a budget didn't. He does have this concern about these three pieces of paper, or three documents.
But it did not indicate that they were telephone taps.
No, they didn't, and as I understand Magruder's thing, he says they weren't identified either.
Well, he said they were. I think he's trying to.
And the interesting thing is all the testimony that's come out so far indicates that those taps were identified by Gemstone as a code name, whereas the material that he had, he says, was identified as Stagecoach 2. Or whatever. I don't know. It's a kind of a curious, maybe irrelevant discrepancy, but it's kind of interesting because the secretary says that she typed the stuff up on special paper that was identified as Gemstone.
This is on the taps.
And Gordon, way back when he said, there may be a problem, because thinking about it afterwards, there are these three things that came over, these three Stagecoach 2 items, that may be, looking back on it, may be the result of the Watergate.
But he did not think so at the time.
Not when he got it, because he didn't know there was a Watergate.
He didn't report to you that he thought that this was tap material.
No, sir.
And you may have seen
what he says he thinks he reported to me was that he thinks he may have given one of them to me in a stack of a lot of other stuff. And that in that, he may have, he says he probably identified it as attached at tab H or something, is a example of the intelligence operation that they've got going. Or the output of the intelligence operation they've got going or something like that. And everybody says it produced nothing. So, it was the kind of thing nobody was very interested in.
Yeah.
And that would be the way he would do it. He would send me the whole telephone operation kit. He'd say attached is the plan for the telephone operation telephone thing, and I wouldn't look at it.
You say that as far as your recording is concerned, that the conversation and all you have so far is just the part where you would come in the room, but no more. You've got how much more you say you've got to go on?
I would guess I have another 10 or 15 minutes maybe to go. I don't think it's very much. I'm not sure. There's no way to tell.
Well, you've got to assume. I don't remember. Goddamn it. Until this day, remember what happened. I don't really remember. Do you? Whether you were told after that, well, look, for Christ's sake, get this money.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Because remember that when you buy.
And if I were, I said that we can.
Yeah.
And I know we did.
I would say, well, do what you can to help Mitchell. I might have said, well, get this to Mitchell.
No.
Get this message to Mitchell.
No. I don't even think that. You may be right, because you've been right on the rest of it pretty accurately, but I sure don't remember that.
I'm too accurate, sir. I'm sort of played by. I remembered as much as I had thought of them. You've got to keep the court on and so forth. Well, even looking at all of that, looking at it at its worst, let's face it, it was not something that he just came in and said, where's the cancer? I'll be about outside. What is the cancer? He says, well, it's growing daily. just help me when you say.
I don't think we can.
I said, I know about that. Now, wait, go ahead. I don't think we can.
Well, I was saying, I don't think we can pretend that we didn't know there was an interest on Mitchell's part in raising money for the defendants.
Sure. Well,
But I sure as hell didn't know what it was for.
You
didn't know about it.
I didn't give the name that went through this deal. I really didn't.
That's right.
No, you know what I mean? I deliberately, the staff protected me from it for their credit. I just wasn't getting involved.
It wasn't even a matter of protection. It was not something that was necessary to get to you. It didn't involve you. It wasn't protection.
Then he said, now this whole bit, then it's talking to O'Brien and so forth and so on. I said, well, I got $20,000. Stinky side of the road and so forth. Did we go into what the stinky side was at all? Conversation.
No, not really.
Yeah. Then I said, well,
a little bit on the point that it was national security. It was but yeah, he said it was the breaking on the healthcare.
Right. And the question.
And he said, and some other things.
Yeah.
That was the only specific he cited.
And some other things. I said, I said, well, that was national security. Yeah, but there were some other things. What the hell they were, I don't know.
He didn't seem to either.
And I said, well, they're going to get hung up, and I suppose I'm going to tell them about other things he did. I wonder what the hell that means, though. He says, well, the White House did this or that or the other thing. He just showed the White House in a bad thought what it does.
The point came up that you knew that he said something about, well, he had done some stuff on the ITT, the deed of beer thing. And you said, oh, yeah, I know that. And then you said, well, I didn't know. You said, I didn't know 100%, but I knew that they were working.
Instead of the papers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reflecting there. That's the Colson operation. I was slightly like it was us. That's what it was all about. He told me that somebody had gone out there and so forth and so on. That was a lot. Then I'm not concerned about it. I mean, what the hell? That was a common. In my conversation with Dean. Yeah. Are you? Not on that. No, it's in the paper, yes. I remember about it. I didn't know the White House was involved with it and so forth. Colson never said he was. He never told me. He told me about what was going on. He gave me daily reports. About what had happened and he appeared and so forth and so on. But he was. Thank God. Then I said, well, now, how about his money? He said, well, it's going to blow it. I said, well, we got to, at least we ought to at least get that much, didn't I? Or what did I say? Or we ought to keep the cork in the bottle that much or some damn spray like that. Yeah. Is that what I said? Yeah. And I said, how much would it cost? $2 million. I said, well, we can get the money, but how would you get it to the defendants? And I said, what would you do if you accused the defendants? Right? And he said, no, that was going to even do it the way we're doing it now, the way it's being done.
No, he didn't say that.
LaRue, he said.
No, he said Mitchell has LaRue out getting money, which I told him is a very bad thing to do. He shouldn't be doing that.
All right, how would you have me explain things? I said, Jesus, we got it.
See, there's the other thing. If you give Dean immunity, he can go into all that. You can't make any case, but he can sure as hell make a lot of embarrassment. If he doesn't have immunity, he has no incentive to get into that area. Because he is deeply implicated when you get into that.
He's deeply implicated, so he's going to go down. So, therefore, he turns madman and says, I'm going to take the president on and destroy his administration because they wouldn't give me immunity. There's the argument about it. Right. But come back to what they
exactly what you were doing. You were drawing him out. You were running this thing out all the way and trying to get a fix on what he thought the limits were, the parameters of it, what ought to be, what at least ought to be done, or what at most ought to be done, where it was going to lead to. Because he was making the case that this is an ongoing problem that'll go on not only through the administration, but after you leave.
Yeah, I think I brought up the point after we leave. He said that it wouldn't matter then.
He said it will hurt in history, but it won't be significant.
Actually, what it really was, you've got to realize, was like the constant conversation we had. It was really not a question of setting something up or something like that. It was it created awareness of the problem and a brainstorming on the problem. But there no condoning of the problem. And it's except for the fact that I said, well,
it was a gradually dawning recognition that the problem was different than what we thought.
that's right.
We thought it was a matter of taking care of these people's fees and stuff.
Yeah, that's what you
Then,
did.
that's right. Then,
I thought
it gradually dawned as this develops and as these pressures build up, and the hunt thing brings it into pretty much focus because it's this big demand for, this or else kind of thing, which was the first time I had ever heard of this or else sort of a threat, or whatever you want to call it, raised in this regard. Up until then it was, we need money for these people to keep, all this thing on the track, keep their attorneys in place.
one thing we did do, I remember, I did get deep into the business of what the legal ramifications were. I think he did. Certainly did. I said, what about the legality of payments? I mean, for fees and support, I said, as I understand it, is that illegal? Is that obstruction of justice?
He said no.
I don't know. Did he say no?
Yeah, I think that's in there. I think he raised that question.
At this point,
His payment of legal fees and so forth, because that's what he was talking about, his payment of legal fees. He said no.
then how does the blackmail stuff come up?
Well, that's because then it's the hunt thing, and I guess other stuff was building up to the point of, we're being blackmailed now. And as we talked about, he even mentioned that as a defense.
Yes, I know. Should say our defense is blackmail. I think at that point I almost laughed because I said, the president would say, we pay money because we're being blackmailed. After saying we won't be blackmailed with the Cubans or the others. But we did raise that point, didn't we? But I think I raised it other times with Dean.
But see, I don't think
Which indicate other knowledge of the fact that some payments are being made because I must have had some knowledge. I mean, as we got into the investigation about in February was when I first got into it. It was after the Vietnam announcement, after the 23rd, after the inauguration. I never got into any of this crap about defendants or attorneys' fees or anything at all. I remember with you or anybody else. At that point, when I first began to talk to James Administrator of the committee, at some point the question of probably in addition to this conversation, and I don't want you to need to go back and read that over. Not at this point, but in this conversation, the real question was, well, what is the legal situation with regard to the payment of fees and so forth? He said, well, you can pay fees, but you can't pay support. I think I heard that in one case. Public support.
that may have been our lawyers talking to you, because they made the point that the support thing doesn't hold up at that point in time because the defendants were out on bail, and therefore were able to earn their own support.
When were they on bail?
They were out on bail all the time, which I didn't know. I thought they were in jail all the time.
Oh, I see.
They were arraigned and let out on bail a couple of days later. They said,
Why are they down for out all summer? On all the rest of it.
Apparently. thing, they thought they were going to go to jail. They were planning to plead guilty. They were worried about support of their families in the long haul. I'm not talking about immediate support needs. You're looking at a guy looking down.
What do your attorneys say, for example, you say that only John, as to what makes you ultimately conspiracy thing on the support of the defendants? In other words,
we didn't have any motive. We did not launch combat. We didn't take initiative on any of this stuff.
Okay, fine.
Our thing was passive, non-disapproval, really. And because Mitchell said there was a need, we didn't, and Dean said there was a need.
Well, there's talk earlier, but didn't make a call to combat, obviously.
No, well,
that's what at least the U.S. Attorney says.
I think it went the other way. I think Kalmbach called Erlich.
Or whatever it is.
Because Kalmbach had an agreement with us that he didn't do stuff unless he had an okay from here. Because he didn't want to get into Stan's fundraising. So when Dean
Kalmbach was going to say certainly that all he was doing was raising money for the defendants.
That's right.
That's right. For their attorney's fees.
Sure. Well, no, he says for humanitarian purposes.
That's right. Well, isn't that legitimate?
It is, I'm told.
What do your attorneys say on that? You asked them that.
Yeah.
A critical question I'll ask you.
Well, let's see, but I've got to go because I've got to get some stuff put together. That's what I've got to, that's one of the areas we're going to cover today. Got to spin all that out. See, they study this stuff and then they look to the problems and then work backwards on it.
Right.
Where they see, well, so far they're satisfied. Everything they come up with, they're satisfied with.
Well, have they ever zeroed in on this? This is subject A. I'm satisfied on the stuff before that they can't make a case. Prosecutors, I'm satisfied on all the stuff in between. They can't make a case. The point is, except for the raising of the money and the transaction of money for the purpose of so-called hush money, that is obstruction of justice, depending on intent. You must have discussed this with them some of us about.
Oh yeah, and they've been researching the statutes on the question.
And the question is corruption is the word.
Well, one of them is corruption, the other one is willful.
Wait a second.
And they say they think we're on very sound ground because of that. They were concerned at one point that there's a circumstantial chain, and that if intent or willfulness is not required, that we might have a problem because of the circumstantial chain. But their research of the statutes as of yesterday convinced them that either corrupt or willful. One statute is corrupt and the other is willful. One section. Those are required, and that they have a very sound case on that basis. They thought they could carry. They thought they had the case even on the circumstantial, but they were concerned about it.
What is the situation with regard to what Dean actually did? You don't even know that he did.
I don't know.
I don't think he did anything with regard to.
Well, it sure is not alleged that he did by McCord and some of those people.
He met with them and delivered money to them.
He had $175,000 that he delivered.
He did.
Well, I don't know. That's what McCord says. Now, I must say that everything McCord has said is proven to be accurate, or virtually everything he's said.
Accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we hit him on the fact that it's hearsay, but his hearsay seems to, from what we picked up the other directions, it doesn't seem to be erroneous hearsay.
So McCord says that John Dean delivered him $175,000.
No, it's not clear. He says John Dean didn't deliver McCord. McCord has nothing on first hand. It would be McCord says that Hunt told him, or Liddy told him, or something like that.
Dean, being a lawyer, is as smart as he is now. Could not, in fact, telling everybody not to do this or that, the other thing. See, could have gotten himself so involved in that more than I could figure out.
Maybe he did. But you see, Dean told me when he was working back through this stuff, he said, if I can just send me to the grand jury and give me immunity, and we have no problem, because I'm the only one in the White House who has any real problem on this. And it would stop at me, and if I'm immune, it doesn't matter. He said it would mean I'd have to leave the White House. Somewhere in this period, when we were talking about the strategy of Dean going to the grand jury, which was in that week
Before the 21st.
no, after.
But I was not there.
No, sir. This was probably on the telephone while he was at Camp David. He was spinning out different routes of how you can work this out. At least that's what I think. And his point then was, nobody else has any problem on this, but I do. That if I can get immunity, and I can still spin it out, which will clear everybody else, and it stops at me, and I have immunity, so I don't get hung. And then the thing that worried him about it was that he said that I guess that would mean I'd have to leave his council. And at that point, he was trying to spin out a plot that would keep him on his council.
No way.
And as it turned out, what he was working on was not a factual thing for you, but an elaborate case of how to pull John Dean out of the suit.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, because he was.
And he got his attorneys in. His attorney to go to see the U.S. attorney. When did his attorneys come? When does the attorneys go to see the U.S. attorney?
I don't know. I don't even know if we can find out.
When, in other words, did Dean start to? That must have been March 21st. We were in California.
He didn't have an attorney then. It was past March 28th. When I had that very long call with him, he didn't have an attorney then.
March 28th, and we were in California until when? April, we were in California from March
30th to April 7th or something.
Yeah, April 9th.
April 8th he came back.
April 8th.
We're back in the office here on the 9th. And the 9th is when you got Garment going on. Because you met with him for a few minutes that day after you met with Garment and me.
When is this? The 9th? Yeah. Yeah, for him to handle the committee hearings.
See, that's what we were worried about.
So you're still concerned about the committee?
Sure.
Shows on my schedule here, John Dean on the 16th.
Of April?
Yeah.
That's correct.
The hell was that about?
Well, that was after the 15th was the day you met with Long Beach and everybody.
Oh, well, that was the resignation.
You met with Dean the night of the 15th also. Remember you had it in. And that was the resignation to the 16th.
The night of the 15th, I guess, is when he reported that he talked to his attorney. Maybe the 16th, we should go. Maybe he'll resign, you know what I mean? See, let me put it this way. One thing's got to happen. Bob, you and John are not, there's no way, in my opinion, that Dean can do a goddamn thing more than you can. Because your facts are there, he's going to do anyway. I think Dean is going to do everything he can anyway. You get my point? Yeah. So John's theory, the president should fire these ass out of here, etc. Has to be then in terms of, does that, and this is not in terms of accepting black, I'm not talking about immunity, but does that unnecessarily give Dean a motive for him to go wild against not only Ehrlichman and Haldeman, which he he already was doing and will do it. But to try to drag the White House to the president, then we've got to look at awful hard and do the best we can not to let that happen. You see, that's the reason why the idea of fire these guys out of here, and frankly, maybe put the blame on him for what he did and didn't do. But it would certainly serve a reasonable and justified purpose in the case of John Q. Although it wouldn't help one way or another, mind you. But I mean, I mean, except for discrediting him. On the other hand, treating the in a different way. I mean, not in a way in which we get immunity because we can't be blackmailed into immunity from being, you know what I mean? He has a major figure there, and the prosecutors don't want to give immunity. That's their decision, not mine. I'm told, you know, that that's up to them. What the question is?
You can't make an overt move on me unless there's a reason, which is a better reason than you have now.
Let me say, there's also said, Dean, please, I asked Peterson, I said, what the crisis am I hearing? And it seems to be after you, Peterson, of course, that he's blowing on a few trucks and things like that. You know, my grand jury leaks and so forth, he's playing everything he can.
Well, they're valid threats.
I know, but you know what I mean? That's not what a big bomb is. Don't you agree?
I don't know. He may, if he's going to see Peterson about a big bomb, it may be a big bomb on Peterson.
No, he told me that he would like to see me in Florida before he made his final decision on completely self-incrimination or whatever I would do. And he didn't say that. He says, I may want to see you before I make it. I said, well, Tom, I buzzed it. I said, well, Tom, let's see how the situation develops. I told Peterson about that, of course. And Peterson said, don't see him. I said, fine. I said, don't see him. I said, let me work on that. That's my job. You know what I mean? Because he figured it's about it. So yeah, and so on. And he's absolutely right. I can't bring John in. The only purpose of bringing John in is very important. There's a human factor involved here, which we've got to bear in mind. Early, you understand, better than early procedures. Even early usually is the guy that is only humanitarian involved. You got the human factor here. Dean says, and I think many, according to Peterson, he says he's never really expressed anything but the greatest respect for and even affection for the president. Now, I don't know whether that is the case that is with others or not. What does Avery report? Same thing. What does Avery say? He said
Same thing, that he has no, you know, that he was trying to give advice to the president in a sense, and the saying, don't let the president get caught in any obstruction of justice type stuff and all that.
he told him, don't let the president get caught in obstruction of justice. What he meant by that. I don't know if I answered this earlier, but
I don't know. I think that he's working on his own ass, but not in the way of trying to hurt the president. I think he'll use everything he's got, except that. I don't think, unless he becomes a madman, that is a danger that I guess you do have to possibly contend with. But so the argument there is you don't want to do anything to drive him to becoming a madman, but you, in the same point, cannot let a record be made of you protecting him.
no. But I'm in a totally defensible
Peterson holds up, but that's,
He's going to hold up.
well, I think, depends on how much Dean has on him, and he's got a lot. And Peterson may be just as worried at his level about what Dean's got on him as you are at yours about what he may have on yours.
Peterson, I think, is going to hold up on that point. I mean, I agree. I like your counsel. I agree that he's a counsel, not a friend. But my point is, our dean said that.
Well, our lawyers don't even agree with him as a counsel. Our lawyers totally distrust Peterson.
I know. They distrust him. They distrust him. But he's the all I've got about it. And I think, though, that Peterson, on the other hand, I repeated that so often to him. I've never failed to do it there. He will use it. We'll say that we got that tape, Henry. And the DOD has taped it. Okay. I have hit that way time and time and again. Now, I just want to understand what the situation is here. I'm treating them all the same. I'm going to wait till I hear from you. If you've got to get any further instructions, you let me know. That's why I asked for the report of you and John. And I said, as far as Dean is concerned, he says, well, we're still having talks with him at arm's length. I said, all right. I said, I can't make a move. Well, the arm's length, that means unity. So, what I'm getting at is, there's the human factor. Now, the other point that I think is this. Dick Moore is up to see his daughter today. I went to in the Moore this fall. He likes Moore very much. Everybody likes Moore. And he said, Moore, he says, we don't see him as a defendant. We see him as a witness. He also sees combat basically as a witness rather than accepting money stuff. On money, he says, without money, aberrations and so forth. But Bob, everybody's going to be convicted of something on the money, and isn't that mainly going to be fined rather than in prison? They don't send them to prison for the violation of the campaign law, spending laws, do they? Yeah. Well, I think that's the case anyway. That's what the situation may be or may not be. Coming around.
So I understand that the only person you can hang on violation of campaign spending laws is the treasurer of the campaign. He has the total liability.
Who is that? Sloan.
It was Sloan, and then it was Glenn Seagan, I guess.
Well, Moore spends money, Commonwealth spends money, and so forth, and so on and so on. But anyway, my point is, speaking of Moore, there's that. So I'm gratified. I'm also gratified with Moore's recollection of LaCosta is now dimmed a bit. It was goddamn sharp the day he was here in the office. And I want you to have it damned in. Let me, you know what I mean?
You can't do anything with that.
The point is,
Moore's recollection is what it is.
I know, I'm not suggesting you lie, but my point is, if you had thought LaCosta was important, you could have told me that.
It wasn't.
I mean, you didn't discuss the fact that a passing reference at LaCosta.
And it was in the same
To
chamber.
the fact, what? That passing reference to what? To the
Need for money.
yeah, the defendants. How was it left?
I don't remember. I don't even remember. I'm not even sure I was in the thing because I don't remember.
Or recollection of something about the fact. Well, Rockefeller, John Early was supposed to have said, well, let Rockefeller, Benjamin get Rockefeller get $500 million. And he said, well, that's typical. Early was correct, you know. Which is not bad. In other words, money was talked about, and they said, gee, that's the way it is, but we're not going to get into it.
That's exactly right. That's
the
the
line.
we had always
The
taken.
line you're getting into, except for the fact of my conversation. We better keep the cork in the bottle on this one.
But we didn't.
Huh?
Yeah, but that didn't go any place.
The question is, I'll finish, sorry. The other point is that on Moore, I'm going to ask you. Moore has been very close to Dean. Is there anything out of the way of having, see, there's nobody that can talk to him. I can't have a Peter's daughter. How about when Moore gets back, having him, just I would say, have a talk with Dean. See what the hell he has in mind. frustrated. The only thing we got the discussion we can talk about. We have one.
He doesn't get an interview. If it's convicted. And there's only one place where he will ever get any possibility of concern. And that's the other. But I sure would say that to him.
Oh no,